The Montreal Canadiens are officially locked in and loaded. Let's open this video up with a quote from Nick Suzuki 2 days ago during the illustrious Montreal Canadiens victory over Tampa Bay. It feels like a lifetime ago since we were here for the Stanley Cup final. We've been through a lot individually, and as a team, and as an organization. To be where we are right now, it's pretty miraculous that we're this good after finishing in last place not that long ago. And I think that really does open the door to the conversation that has risen up about how the Canadiens just had the best rebuild we have seen in years. From Stanley Cup Finals to 2021, to first overall pick in 2022, to this level of dominance just 4 years later in 2026. Let's go over to the best and worst teams of the month for the month of March, as posted by Smash Bros 13 on the R Hockey subreddit. Now, if you're familiar with this entire post that is usually made, it dives into the list of names that were the best and the worst amongst the rest of the NHL over the course of a certain period of time. Smash Bros 13 does post for the team of the week, the team of the Olympics, the team of March, and then there's a big thing at the end of the year, of course. But these were the players that made the most impact on their NHL teams via Hockey Stat Card's game score metric over the past 30 days. Let's take a look. First line, Marty Necas as the top left wing with a 31.89, Nathan MacKinnon with a 32.63 at center, and then the best winger on the right was Nikita Kucherov. Meanwhile, the second line of the team of the month includes Brandon Hagel, Nick Suzuki, and David Pastrnak. Meanwhile, the third line involves Cole Caulfield, Robert Thomas, and Juraj Slafkovsky, with Ricard Raquel, Pavel Zacha, and Victor Arvidsson rounding out that forward core. It's a pretty good list of names, if I do say so myself. A lot of these guys, if you just kind of look around the league and you pay attention to the points, these guys were mostly out there scoring as much as they could. Especially those guys on Boston. Man, they were absolutely clutch. Then on defense, you have yourselves the team of the month on the back end. Lane Hutson was the best NHL defenseman over the past month. Erik Karlsson, second best defenseman. Rasmus Dahlin and Zach Werenski are number 3 and number 4. Meanwhile, Matthew Schaefer and Evan Bouchard round out the top 6 defense in the league. The top 2 goalies in the NHL were Jeremy Swayman and Joel Hofer. The only honorable mention that is put out here belongs to Scott Wedgwood of the Colorado Avalanche, who also had a very solid month. You can debate that Jakub Dobeš probably should belong onto this goaltending list as well, but to be fair, Hofer and Swayman both had incredible months as well. Dobeš was more of a team of the week kind of guy over his performance the past 7 or 8 days. But just looking at the fact that you have 4 Montreal Canadiens, Caulfield, Suzuki, and Slafkovsky, not to mention Lane Hutson, scattered around the team of the month in March, that's an absolutely great showcase to acknowledge where the Canadiens are and just the level of hockey they've been playing this late into the season. We've been having all these conversations about, Suzuki, if he keeps it up, he could be on pace for 100 points. Cole Caulfield, if he continues doing his thing, he could get up to 50 potentially. But now it's like, these guys are scoring more points than ever before. Nick Suzuki's going out there with 2, 3, 4 points a game, and Cole Caulfield's getting goals like crazy. If anything, these guys are above the 100-point, 50-goal projection pace. And of course, knock on wood, we're not going to say that it's guaranteed. We're just going to say that it's what they're currently on pace for. And then Lane Hutson, he just gone out there and tied Bobby Orr and is won however many seasons behind Paul Coffey of getting 60-plus assists before the age of whatever. He's doing very, very well. Now, for craps and giggles, let's go out there and just take a look at the worst team of the month, because I always get a kick of looking at these lists as well. Cole Reinhardt, Tomáš Nosek, and Frank Vetrano are the worst team forward line. Not to mention Tyson Kozak, Jacob Willian, and Vinny Hinostroza. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know who Tyson Kozak is, nor the guy from Toronto. Speaking about Toronto, Max Domi is listed on the worst team of the month. He is third line left wing, alongside of Aatu Ratu and Adam Klapka. Meanwhile, Adam Edstrom is the worst fourth line left wing, alongside of Blake Lizotte and Landon Slaggert of the Penguins and the Blackhawks. The worst defenseman in the NHL in the month of March was Scott Mayfield, followed closely by Marcus Pettersson, Elias Pettersson, and Victor Mancini. And the absolute worst goalie in the league the past 31 days was Nikita Tolopilo. So, yeah, it's not looking too good for my Vancouver Canucks, unfortunately. If you really wanted to be nice to my team, that just doesn't happen for the Canucks this season. They don't do too well unless they're playing off against Colorado. But acknowledging the fact that Montreal Canadiens players are all over the best of the month list, obviously, that articulates just how locked and loaded this team is. They are locked in and loaded. They are going out there and playing some of the best hockey they have played together at the end of the year. And what, most of these guys are in their early to mid-20s? This is not even the final form of the Montreal Canadiens. And a lot of the comments are going out there and saying that exact same thing. Okay, it's funny to see that Robert Thomas is centering Slavkovsky and Cole Caulfield. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm surprised Dobeš isn't one of the goalies for the best team in March. And then we have ourselves 2 games against San Jose that definitely lowered those overall numbers. Yeah, that makes sense in my mind why Dobeš was not included instead of Swayman and Hofer. Let's hope Demidov joins them in April. Seeing so many Leafs and Panthers on the worst list is liberating. And then you have some comments about how the Canucks defense is really bad. Vancouver claimed 5 spots on the wrong list. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, eh? The team is just so bad. But really, Montreal is the spotlight here. The Habs' entire first line and Lane Hudson, with Jakub Dobeš first star of the week. What a time to be a Habs fan. 2 years ago, when the Wings played the Habs back-to-back to end the season, I immediately became terrified of this line. Somehow, it's scarier than I expected. Yeah, Slavkovsky has improved so much over the years. He used to be a board battle playmaker, feed Suzuki and Caulfield at all costs. But now, he's carrying the puck everywhere and still winning board battles, but also enjoying to shoot and score. And playmaking. Oh, and he's pretty good at the power play. And it doesn't even feel like it's his final form either. He's been getting better from month to month. Montreal Canadiens fans, yep, you absolutely have to take a look at the team. Just acknowledge what they're doing. Just appreciate how it's going. Because the Habs are a wagon, my friend. They are locked in and loaded, and all of these guys are becoming the scariest versions of themselves heading into the Stanley Cup Playoffs. With that said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Caulfield, Suzuki, and Slavkovsky going out there as some of the top forwards in the league in March? Not to mention Lane Hudson being the top defenseman in March. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.